We are back again. My name's Marvin Ambrosio is here for another Goop Ghost of Our Past podcast. I'm here with not only, it's hard to get an intro for this guy because he's not just a guy, he's my brother from another mother. This is Matthew Lawrence. What's up, cuz?
Yes, what's happening, cousin? You good?
I'm wicked, man. Thanks so much for coming on this. I know you were reluctant to come on this podcast show because you listened to the first couple of episodes. We had a couple of conversations about it, and there was actually a bit of information that you gave me, but it actually wasn't my information. It turned out it was your information.
Yeah, but I'm the kind of person. Yeah, I'm the kind of person like I believe some stuff should just be left in the past. Like, why would you even bring this stuff back up? I almost feel like talking about it now is just gonna start bringing up, resurrecting some mad spirits and vibes and stuff. Yeah.
Well,
so
see,
like,
this is what we're talking about, and this is what I'm saying now, just to give everybody some context. Like me and Matthew, and if anybody that watched the show previously with my mum involved, you would have heard Sandra being mentioned, which is Matthew's mum. Now, Sandra was my childcare. That was who looked after me from like the age of 2.5, 3. But Matthew was my brother. So it's like when I was with Matthew every day and we were together, we just played. So we were just boys from day dot. We lived within a 4.5 minute walk from each other. So
the next road.
Just literally the next road. And like we were walking from probably 6-7 years old to each other's houses in those days. And like wouldn't do it. I wouldn't let our kids do it now, but like we were doing it then.
Yeah.
And it was fine. But we'll go into more detail about that after. But just to bring up slowly about how our relationship has formed and obviously into like us being family for life. But this experience that I went through, I thought it was just me and Marsh. And then to find out a lot of these experience actually stemmed from our relationship.
Yeah. Which is
crazy.
I mean, when you're kids, you experience things and you go through things, and I think like you suppress certain things as well. So it's only until you have conversations like this that you start thinking about, like even just like 5 minutes before coming on here, I was thinking about certain things and I'm like, oh yeah, like things start to come back. But you know, like you just push it all back in the past and you're like, forget about it. It's only until you start conversating.
Exactly. And there's many things like you got to think to yourself, Matt, it's not like we ain't been talking. We've been talking this whole time. How is it we've never brought this up until this year? Don't you find that really weird?
Certain stuff belongs in the past.
Why
mess with it?
But think of it though. We're talking about, you said to me, and this was less than 2 months ago, that you remember me telling you about a woman that used to live in the house.
Yeah.
But then it turns out it weren't my house, it was your house.
Oh, was it?
It was your house. Your mum told me. I spoke to her and she said it was it wasn't your imaginary friend. She said you had a woman that was living there and you would talk to her all the time. And I'm convinced she was involved in the Hulk burning.
Possibly could be, but yeah, I mean that's what happens. Like with when you're a kid, you say these things, and then over time it kind of like changes a bit, and then you have older people around you that actually remember it, that tell you. So yeah. So I was saying, like, I don't have many memories of the first house that you lived in. In fact, I can only really remember 3 things. One was that you had a chemistry set that I really wanted.
Yeah.
The other was that your mum had a life-size cutout of Michael Jordan. Yeah. And then the other, I could have sworn you and your sister told me about this woman that lived in the house, but she was a nice lady that like looked after you. Well, you guys were just messing with me. You wanted me to be scared or something. So I try not to pay too much attention to it and just hope that you guys never mentioned it again.
No, that was all you on that one. That was you. Okay. That wasn't me. That was you. So obviously we had our own stuff going on, and weirdly enough, in your house, I felt more comfortable most of the time when I went to visit at your house than anywhere I went. The only thing that freaked me out about your house, you dealt with it. You burned it for me. Like, you know, we nearly killed ourselves. But like, just to let everybody know, like we had a lot of people in America wouldn't know this, and they might have had this, but when you couldn't afford the real action figures of particular superheroes, the corner shops would make a crap replica of that hero. Mm-hmm. We happened to have a fake Hulk. this Hulk looked like a vampire on crack. Like it looked mad. And I remember it was so scary I couldn't not look at it. But it scared me that much. I had to keep an eye on it. And then one day Matt was like, I'm gonna burn it for you, man. Matt set it alight for me. But we nearly killed it. We nearly killed each other.
Well, like a bit more context. Like it wasn't a thing where you saw it for the first time and hated it.
No.
It was you had a problem with this thing
From day
for
dot.
a while, and like I was cool with it, you know. Like, but
You're
so yeah,
fine.
so whenever we'd be playing with toys and whatever, Marvin would be like, yeah, I'm afraid of this thing. I just don't want to play with it.
It's horrible.
So one day I decided, all right, well then the only way to get rid of it and make sure my best friend is cool.
Yeah.
Like let's just kill the Hulk. So
burn it on the
so
car.
I had this plastic car that you could sit on, and it had a handle at the back so someone could push you, and it had a seat that you could lift up. So I thought,
Oh my god, I've just remembered that now.
I've seen people in movies like put something in a kind of container to burn it. So I thought, all right, then it's gonna be safe if I put it in the sea and burn it in there. Then at least that's gonna contain a fire. I mean, we were too young to know that, you know, plastic is highly flammable, and that's just gonna go up.
Yeah.
Although we was old enough to know to get matches to say it. Like,
I know, it's
so
like
anyway.
from the kitchen as well. Like, get the matches, man. We're ready.
So like this whole time, my mum is like in the kitchen cooking or something. So we got the matches, put it inside the thing, lit it, fire's gone, plastic's caught alight, the car's going up. And I'm thinking, damn, all right. Another thing that I've seen on TV and movies is that they always put a blanket over the fire.
Exactly.
To stop the fire.
It's usually a wet blanket. It's a wet blanket, but yeah.
Or just like a proper blanket. I've got a crocheted blanket.
Highly flammable on it.
And thrown that over the top. So the whole thing's just gone. And at this point, I've realized that this is too big. This is way out of my control. So the best thing for me to do is leave. You know,
yeah.
But I either didn't notify you, or you was just too.
I think I sit there and went like this.
I think you were just frozen stiff.
I remember not moving and feeling the heat, and I felt the heat, and I was like, "What's going on right now?"
So I've shot out of there. And I've gone to my mum and I've gone, Mum, don't get mad at me. And she's like, what? And I'm like, no, promise, you won't get mad at me. She's like, what? I'm like, no, promise. And she's like, all right, I promise, I won't get mad at you. And I was like, okay, the front room's on fire and Marvin's still in there. And my mum said that the smoke was so black and filled the room. She kind of had to like feel her way through the room to find you and get you out. I don't know how the whole house didn't go up in smoke, but
this story could have been so different if you didn't muster up the courage to just say it as fast as you did. You could have waited another 30 seconds. There'd be no Marv here. The world wouldn't have had all of this.
So that's the Hulk story, and almost burning down the house. But for my friend, that's what you do for your friends. Yeah. But if there's any kids watching, don't set fire to it. No.
Yeah, it's not good. But then again, that just brings a bit more. It brings a bit more depth in, obviously, how long we've known each other and how we're about it and we're ride or die. But in terms of obviously the past, the spiritual aspect of our lives, your mum introduced my mum to a spiritualist, and obviously through the whole thing. And this is where it gets deep. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop you there.
Okay.
Because we're going to invite Marsh onto the call.
All right, cool. Let's do this.
Right. So I'll call you back in a sec.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, got you.